and welcome to my second video on trigonometry for additional mathematics. Alright, today we're going to try some harder questions for solving for theta. So let's see what's going on here. Over here, I have 6 sine, not theta, but 2 theta. Remember, is equal to 3. Remember in my other questions in the previous video, it was just simply theta. A single theta we were solving for. Here, there's a number in front or touching the theta. And the instruction says they want you to solve for the angle between 0 and 360. When we're doing these questions, whenever there's a number touching the theta, we're going to apply something called the one less policy. So, what is the one less policy? First of all, what's the number touching the theta? 2. We ask ourselves, how much is 1 less than that number? And the answer is 1. Because if you have 2, 1 less is obviously 1. So I'm going to show you how to apply that to the question. Don't worry. Just remember there's something I call the one less policy. So let's go about solving this just like in the other questions. Remember, this 2 theta belongs to the sine. So who would you throw across first? The 6 is a multiply. Throw it across. We're going to get a divide. So when we do that, we'll get 3 divided by 6, which is a half. So 3 divided by 6 is a half, or 0.5. Great. Now, we cannot throw across the 2. We have to throw across the sine. Okay? When we throw across the sine, we bounce up a positive number. So, where is sine positive? Sine is positive in the first region, and sine is positive in the second region. So, let's sine inverse this. So, we have, well, this is the 2 theta here. 2 theta is equal to sine inverse 0.5. So, now this is a positive, so this is going to be easy. Second function, sine 0.5 is 30 degrees. So, that means 2 theta is equal to 30 degrees. And at the same point in time, 2 theta is also equal to 180 minus the basic angle. So 180 minus 30 is 150 degrees. Right. You notice when we threw across the sine, at that point we paused the question and we got our 2 answers. And these 2 answers are equal to theta. Now here's the thing. Remember I told you something called the one less policy? The one less policy applies to how much times you have to add 360 degrees. So, we have 2 answers here waiting. We don't divide them by 2 as yet. Here's what you want to do. You want to add 360 degrees to this answer once, and you also want to add 360 degrees to this answer only once. 1 time less than this. So let's add it. 30 plus 360 is 390. And 150 plus 360 is 510 degrees. How much answers do you see in front of you now? You have the first 2 original answers from this chart, and then to each one you added 360 degrees once. All 4 answers here are equal to 2 theta. The examiner doesn't care about 2 theta. He only cares about theta. So all of these answers here, we have to divide them by 2. So what we're going to do here is visit everyone and divide everyone by 2. And once we divide all of them by 2, that's our final answers. So we get some paper here. 30 divided by 2. I can't believe I used a calculator for that. That is 15 degrees. That's my first answer. 390 divided by 2 is 195 degrees. 150 divided by 2 is 75 degrees. And 510 divided by 2 is 255 degrees. You notice all 4 answers here are between 0 and 360. So all 4 answers are valid answers. All right, let's try another one. That one was pretty, well, not that simple, but it was good enough. Let's try something else. Right, so well, I'm gonna put the one less thing here, so I have more space here. Let's say we have 4 tan 3 theta is equal to minus, let's say minus 5. Okay, so who will we throw across first if we're solving for theta? And you notice it's not only theta, you have a 3 touching it there, so it's 3 theta. So we're going to throw across the 4, which is a multiply, to get a divide. First things first. So 5 divided by minus 5 divided by 4 will give us minus 1.25. Great. So at the point of throwing across the tan now, we realize, wait, this is a negative question. So where is tan negative? First of all, tan is negative here and tan is negative here in the second and fourth regions. So when it's a negative, remember I told you, ignore the negative. So we are just going to find the tan inverse of 1.25, okay? Tan inverse of 0.125. 1.25. And well, let's double check. I think I pressed something. Second function, tan 1.25. And we get our answer as 51.34 degrees. Remember, this answer here is not our answer. We are going to use it to get our answer. So, remember, everything we're about to get is equal to 3 theta. So we're going to get 2 sets of answers here. 3 theta is equal to 180 minus this. We have to apply this formula and this formula. So 180 minus 51.34 is equal to 128.66 degrees, obviously. And 360 minus 51.34 is 308.66 degrees. Let's put my degree sign here to be real accurate. Now, before we notice, when we threw across the tan, we paused and got the 2 answers. But it's 3 theta, and we have something called the 1 less policy. How much is 1 less than 3? 2. So here's what we need to do. We have to add 360 to this once, and the answer we get, we have to add it 1 more time. So we are adding 360 twice. 1 less than 3. And we're going to do the same thing here. Add 360 once, and the answer we get here, we add another 360. So we're going to end up with 3 answers here and 3 answers here, making it 6. So 128.66 plus 360 is 488.66. Add another 360, and we're going to get 848. There's a point there, 66. Let's do the same thing here. 308.66 plus 360 will give me 668.66, and we add another 360 to this answer, we are going to get 1028.66. But 2, 4, 6 answers are all equal to 3 theta. So that means now we have to divide all of them at the end of the question by 3. All right? So I'm going to leave this part up to you. You can divide this. And you are only going to take the answers that fall between 0 and 360. If any of these answers are smaller than 0 or greater than 360, you just ignore them. You only take the ones within the range. All right, let's try another one. Question 3. So let's try this. Minus 2 sine theta plus pi on 6, right? is equal to minus, sorry, let me guess a harder. I want to have a negative one. Positive one. Right, so this should be a little bit harder. Oh, and I forgot to put something here. Let's put a 2 here. Okay, so we have minus 2 sine theta, open brackets, 2 theta plus pi on 6. Whenever you see a pi on 6, right, I believe I did a video on radians, you have to remember pi on 6 is the same thing as 30 degrees. Do not let it get to you, right? I explained the pi on 6 in my integration videos, so you should probably take a look at that. But the point is, when you see pi on 6, I would personally erase it and replace it with 30 degrees because I'm more accustomed seeing degrees. I'm not really accustomed using radians. So let's see what's going to go on here. Now remember, this is 2 theta, so we have to apply the 1 less policy, right? If it was just normal theta, this would have really been 1 theta, and 1 less than 1 is 0. So that means we will add 360 0 times. In other words, we ignore that process on the whole. So who will we throw across first? The minus 2 is a multiply, throw it across, you get a divide. So 1 divided by minus 2 is minus a half, or minus 0.5. Now it's time to throw across the sign. Remember, this whole bracket belongs to the sign. So at the point of throwing across the sign, we realize, wait, it's a negative question. Where is sign negative? Here and here, in the third and fourth region. So let's pause the question and get our 2 answers. Remember, all our answers will be equal to 2 theta plus the 30 degrees, right? So sine, remember, when it's a negative, we ignore the sign. So second function, sine 0.5, positive 0.5. We are ignoring the negative sign temporarily. And we will get our first answer, our basic answer, as 30 degrees. Where are we, which formulas are we using? In the third and fourth quadrant. So 180 plus the 30 is 210, and 360 minus the 30 is 330 degrees, right? Remember, he is not the answer. We just used him to get the answer. Before we move any further, we have to use the 1 less policy. 1 less than 2 is 1. So we have to add 360 to this once and add 360 to this once. 210 plus 360 is 570. Well, space it out there a little bit. You will get 570, and 330 plus 360 is 690. Now we can unpause the question and move on. To each of these answers, remember, we have to solve for theta. So for each of these answers, we have to minus 30 and divide it by 2. So positive 30, we have to minus 30 and divide it by 2. For each of these answers, we have to minus 30 and divide it by 2. Minus 30 divided by 2. Minus 30 divided by 2. And when we simplify this, and this, we'll get 4 answers. Only take the answers that fall between 0 and 360. Right? If any of them are smaller or bigger, just ignore them. Right? So I'm going to leave this part for you. Just remember one thing. When you say 210 minus 30 on the calculator, make sure and press equal, and then divide it by 2. Right? A lot of people forget to press equal and then divide. They just type in this on their calculator. 210 minus 30 divided by 2. The problem with this, when you type in this on your calculator only divides the closest number. And you want to divide the whole thing? So what you could do is put the whole top in brackets, then press divide by 2, or type in this, press equal, then divide it by 2. Either one will work. All right? So guys, I really hope this was helpful on how to solve for when here is not 1, like when it have a 2 or a 3. Obviously, if it had the number 5 here, you would add the 360 4 times, one less than the number touching the theta. Alright guys, so stay tuned for my next video on trigonometry.